As some of you might know, one of my heroes is Kakarot, also known as Goku. For years on this channel, I've referenced Dragon Ball, and for this video, we're gonna head back to where Akira Toriyama found his inspiration. That meant taking a trip to China, specifically Chongzuo. This is Antigravity A1. For us, Nimbus, the very first all-in-one 8K 360 drone, built to redefine how we capture the world. My name is Andy Toe, and if it's your first time here, welcome to the lab. If you're already subscribed, welcome home. Oh man, sorry for the mess, you guys. I've been on the road for the past couple weeks and haven't had a chance to clean up the lab. So it comes with a lot. Drone, goggles, motion controller, carrying case, charging hub, sling bag, high capacity flight batteries, goggle batteries, battery lanyard, USB-C, power cable, lens caps, propellers, extra screwdriver, and manuals. The drone itself. Battery comes out here. Lens here. And it pops out like this. You want to manually do before you take off because you don't want to scratch the lenses. USB-C and also micro SD slot. Batteries. Alright, so this is the battery for the goggles. So all you need to do is press and hold for 2 seconds. If it was charged, then you'll see the lights come on. Part right here so you can hang as a lanyard and just snaps in like that. So USB-C charging case. So if I plug in, so it's gonna turn on. And then you also have a third slot. You can charge 3 batteries at one time. Oh, so in order to power on the drone, you just press once and then you press and hold and then it'll power on. And to turn off, it's the same. Press and hold. My controller also comes with a wrist strap. So you get different modes. We have normal, cinematic, and also sport mode. This is your accelerator trigger. This is the record button, also a photo mode, and this turns the drone. This is a hard stop, and to turn on the remote. And then to turn it off is the same thing. All right, next up we have the goggles. So it has 2 antennas that you can flip up. And you just have to pop these off. There's a micro SD slot in here if you want to record your goggles. And then if you want to adjust, you use these 2 knobs to adjust your focus for each eye. There's also this camera that allows you to see what's in front of you. Press this button and this controls the volume. All right, so with this cord, we could power on our goggles. So we'll go from here into right here, the bottom, and hold. So these extra goggles right here are for prescriptions. Oh no. Man, Jalen's gonna be mad at me. I'm gonna wear my USB-C charging cable, some extra propellers just in case you crash. Micro SD card reader. All right, so this is everything that comes in the packaging. Just so you guys know, I have 0 experience with 360 footage. I skipped every other device you guys might know about and went straight to the drone. Yeah, I'm crazy. But that's kind of the point. Sometimes you get those urges to want to spend a little money on something that might potentially satisfy a creative craving. Okay, well maybe sometimes you want to just watch a YouTube video on what a new product is capable of. That's actually why you're here. So, if you're a beginner pilot, don't worry, because this is my first time too. I thought about how far technology has taken us so far. The fact that we even have a 360 drone is really what sparked my interest. So I started scripting this video on this flight to Hong Kong. But when you're a filmmaker, you start noticing everything around you. And especially for me, I'm a nerd.
I noticed all the tech, the remote, the lighting, the small details. USB-A in 2025? These 20-inch touchscreen monitors, even the slippers. But the craziest part?
You will pre-order the 1,000.
Yes.
Correct.
Being on long flights is my absolute favorite time to write and sleep. It gives me the headspace to give massages, study film, and wait. This is actually my first time having a burger on a flight, and wow. Alright, let's switch gears. First flight preparation. Before you even think about your first flight, there's a series of updates you need to make sure you do. Drone, remote, goggles. After downloading the app, it'll guide you through that process. Give yourself approximately 15 to 30 minutes with everything charged to be safe. I did this while traveling, so the process was somewhat challenging, but we got the job done. Here we go, drone on, goggles on, remote on. Take a deep breath, line yourself up, double tap up, and the propellers are gonna turn on. At this point, you can start your screen recording from your goggles so that you can record your perspective. I would 100% not suggest that you guys fly over water for your first flight, but I do have a couple of years of drone flying experience, so I felt comfortable doing this. The remote works by direction. Point it where you want to go, hit the throttle, and the drone follows. I'm recording right now so you guys can see the frontal view in real time. If you let go of the throttle, don't worry, the drone doesn't drop. It just holds its position. And if you lose connection, see that yellow H? That's your launch point. The drone will guide itself right back.
I lost connection.
One of the coolest new features for me was how others got to see my perspective from the outside. I've never used a product that gives you that kind of view live. While you're in the air, you can get flight anxiety. Trust me, I've been there, but flying gets easier the more you do it. There's obstacle awareness and flight assistance built in, which makes a huge difference when you're learning. I pushed it as high as I could go. To ascend up, you simply just need to point the remote up until you see that up arrow.
Okay, I'm at max.
And then to climb down, you just need to literally look down and then point your cursor down.
Alright, some of you guys who know me know I've always wanted to be an FPV pilot. The problem is that that skill actually takes years and years of work and refinement. With this drone, you can actually pull off an FPV style dive without the learning curve.
Alright, so let me paint a picture for you guys. You found this really cool rock, and you're probably thinking to yourself, how are you going to actually pull this off? A, you're a beginner, and B, you don't have that much flight experience. So without overwhelming you, this is exactly what I did. I started up at the top, I used my goggles to look down, and I just started descending down. Trying my best to keep it as smooth as possible, and this is what I was thinking in real time.
I've always wondered what, so like, even with this, like I don't even have to dive like crazy. It looks like I'm diving without having to know how to dive.
All right, let's get into it. So this is the front view, the original clip. And right now we're just descending down. This is how it would look with a regular drone. But the cool thing is that once we hit this, our overhead view, now we have this sort of FPV looking dive. First, we're going to transition this over into Tiny Planet. We're going to make a keyframe. We're going to drop down probably to about here, and then we're going to change this over to Ultra. But we're also going to choose our overhead angle, and then it should look a little something like this. And just like that, the Antigravity Studio app makes it super easy to accomplish what would have been something that's probably impossible to do with a regular drone. I also wanted to test the lowest I could take it as well. I also found it's nice to have someone spot you. Luckily, I had Jalen and my friends helping out. For this video, I kept all my shooting settings on automatic. I didn't want to overcomplicate things since it's my first go. Wanted to keep the process super simple.
It looks so crazy.
While I was in the air, I also grabbed some 360 photos that give these crazy panoramic views of everything around us. There were moments where I didn't even fly, like on this raft. I just grabbed some clips from the drone sitting still because the raft was moving and I wasn't ready to launch and follow yet. Still ended up with some pretty interesting perspectives though. Here's a side view, the other side view, overhead, and then my favorite, this tiny planet. I thought it was really fun to just, I don't know, I've never messed with 360 footage before, so being able to see this perspective was pretty cool. What's different is that this is completely all in one. No external camera, nothing to mount or balance. You're not flying for a shot anymore. You're flying to collect pretty much everything and deciding on the shot later. You can creatively direct one shot that you had in mind, but then now you have a full array of options that you probably wouldn't have thought of originally, but now could implement in a couple of different other ways. And after we've gotten all of our shots, now it's time to land, and it's not that hard. And there's two ways to land that's beginner friendly. You could do a manual hover, so you bring your drone to a stable hover, point down, slowly pull the throttle down, then you'll get notified to press once and then hold the second time on the on and off switch, and then the drone will descend and slowly start landing. Or you could trigger the return to home on the remote and it'll fly back to that H launch point. Then all you have to do is double tap the off button on the remote to turn off the propellers. Alright you guys, here are some of my final thoughts. It's compact, travel friendly, and honestly easy to bring along without having to overthink it. Technically, the learning curve wasn't super high, especially with this being my first 360 drone. On this China trip, this was the only drone that I brought, so I forced myself to only film in this format. After taking it out for a couple rounds, I now have a better understanding of how it works. So on my next trip, I'm definitely going to push for more creative shots. And if we're being honest, who is this drone actually for? For someone like me? For sure. But I'm also thinking about the people who are curious about the 360 world and want to step into it. To be honest, I'm not the most well versed in 360 just yet, but this device itself pushed me far enough to actually want to go and explore it. I'm already thinking of pairing this with my Apple Vision Pro for a future video, because what you're seeing here actually just scratches the surface. It's wild to see how far technology has actually gone. I remember back in the days when I used to fly blind with no vision, and now we're filming in 8K and 360 is pretty crazy. Overall, I'm just grateful I got to go to China to a specific part where Akira Toriyama found inspiration for Goku and Dragon Ball. That was a really cool experience for me. And that pretty much wraps up this video. And I'm curious to know, what do you guys think? Thanks for watching until the end, and I'll see you guys on the next video.